Okay, time to get started. Good Tuesday morning. Let's appreciate that we have a space to practice together. And right now, I appreciate having a roof over my head. So whatever, as we begin breathing, whatever you feel gratitude for, let's just meditate on that as we breathe. So take a deep breath, inhale, lengthen through your spine. Soften through your shoulders, maybe draw them back. Think about your neck being long and relax the muscles of your face. And so we'll just begin by being still, focusing on a sense of gratitude for whatever comes to your mind first. We're going to try to breathe in as well as out through our nose. If you're congested, of course, you can breathe through your mouth. So inhaling and slowly exhaling. Eyes can be open or closed. Might as well close them. Inhale, lengthen. Imagine the crown of your head lifting. Exhale. We'll go 4 more breaths, sitting in a dignified fashion. Slowly exhaling, letting your belly contract in as your diaphragm shifts. Inhaling, slowly expanding. Let's just hold it just for a second before we exhale and slowly release it. Last breath. Slowly exhale. And we'll continue to breathe in this manner with in and out through our nose. Let's just begin with shoulder rolls today. So we're going to take them up and then back and down and forward. Up, back, down, and forward. So just noticing as you move your shoulders what you feel, where you feel it, and just be aware. And stop. And now we'll do the opposite. Just moving in the opposite direction. For those of you who this is your first time with me, we stay on the floor, and I would highly recommend that you have something to sit on, a folded up blanket or towel or a hard cushion from your sofa. Right, shoulders down. Now, gaze up, respecting your neck, gaze down, chin tucked, chin lifted. And hold it down. Arms will clasp behind you. And if that's uncomfortable, you can have a hand towel to hold on to or a little strap. Shoulders down, opening through the heart. And now gaze up, look up. So your sternum is lifting. And now let's just move sideways as we are still opening through our heart. Notice what you feel, whether you're feeling it mostly in your chest or in your side body, perhaps your back. And now as I come dipping my shoulder, I'm going to bring it forward so the other shoulder goes back. So introducing a little twist as we open the heart. Breathe. Thursday, we're going to use straps. So just a little heads up. Could be a dog leash, a jump rope, a sash from your bathrobe, a towel. All right, release. Clasp your hands in front, open your palms to the front and push. Shoulders down, so they want to creep up to your ears. So we're going to push down, keep pushing away, and then up. Notice where you feel it. So we're trying to open in our back as we push forward and engage our arms. Just on your own, you can go slower, not much faster than me. And now we're going to hold it up, lifting up, pressing, rooting down with your hips, pressing with your sacrum down to whatever you're sitting on. And now a little lateral flexion. Breathe. Trying to keep your biceps by your ears. And bring it up and float the arms down again. So let your ear drop to your shoulder. I'm taking my right ear to my right shoulder. My right hand gently supports my head. And then this left hand is going to wrap behind, if that's comfortable for you. Opening through the shoulder and neck and wherever you're feeling it. Just breathe. And release, and we'll do the same on the other side. Inhale tall with your neck, your cervical spine. Let the ear comes towards the shoulder and shoulders stay down. Option to put your hand on your head and then wrap behind. Excuse me, I gotta move the toy. Under the bed. Okay, where was I? And release. Okay, last time, inhale tall. Exhale, looking over your shoulder and then to the other side. And as we do this, we're very aware of what's happening with our shoulders and our chest. So we want them down. And back through center. Okay, so I'm going to remove my cushion. If you have one, do so as well. And then I will put my feet wide in a wide stance. I'm going to lean on my hands. And instead of rounding and slouching, I'm going to inhale and lengthen. So I want to extend my spine and keep it like this as I let my knees drop to one side and then the other. I want to have my feet wide enough so that if my knees want to go to the ground, they can. Remember, we're breathing in and out through the nose, if at all possible. All right, let's hold it to one side. Make sure that back knee is connecting to the ground, and we're going to cross over. So I'm leaning to the right. My left hand crosses over my right knee. My other hand goes back and supports me. Pushing into the ground, lift up tall, and now I'm going to rotate. As I rotate, I'm pushing my back knee down and maybe contracting the glutes and pushing them forward. And just breathe. Again, noticing what you feel. All right, and we're going to release it back. So, going back to our windshield wipers. This is so good for our low back, for our hips, for mobility. And that's our movement around the joint. Free movement that is not restricted. Okay, so now both knees are down. I'm going to move to the other side. I'm going to lift up tall, inhale, cross that hand over that opposite knee. Bring the other hand over, and I'm twisting my spine, lifting my heart up. Now, pressing my back knee down, lifting my heart, and I'm twisting my back shoulder back and trying to bring my front shoulder to the side. Breathe. If you want, contract the back thigh, hips, and press that hip forward, engaging through the hip flexor. And release. Okay, let's go into our butterfly position before we get on all fours. My hands are supporting my upper body simply by hanging onto my ankles. Lift up tall. Exhale forward, keeping that neutral spine. Hands come back, open the heart. Inhale up, take it forward. This time we're going to hold it forward. And if you want to gently move your knees up and down, that's fine. And now press them down. Maybe you can press with your elbows. Maybe you press with your hands. Just breathe. Our inner thighs are typically tight on most people because we don't do a lot of lateral movement. All right, so now we're going to shift over to all fours. This is our quadruped position. And so I'm in a box. And when I'm in neutral, my eyes are gazing down. My neck I'm pretty much straight from the crown of my head to my hips. So I'll inhale, extend, gaze forward, tailbone up, drop your belly. Exhale, go through neutral and then draw the navel in, round the back, tuck the chin. Inhaling through neutral, going forward. Exhaling back. Going at your own pace with your breath. Maybe each repetition you get a little farther. Forgot to put my hair up. All right, coming back to neutral. Okay, so we're going to move the knees just maybe an inch closer to the midline. So my knees are more narrow than my hands. I'm going to extend my right foot back, pressing through the heel. Draw the navel in, keeping it supported. And now I'm going to bring my knee in towards my chest, press it back, and bring it out to the side towards my elbow. Press back through the heel, come in through the midline, back, side, back, midline, back, side. So we don't have a weight on our ankle, so we can move a little faster, but we're not swinging. We don't want to use momentum. All the while, you're drawing your navel in. Let's go one more time. Bring the knees in together, and we're just going to sit back and relax. Stretching through the back, letting our knees feel that compression of the fold. And now let's go up, second side. Okay, again, the knees are just a little more narrow. All the while, if you get fatigued in your low back, take a break. Don't let your belly drop like that. You want to keep the navel in. Press through your left heel, pressing back. Draw the knee in, and I can round if I want, or I can stay neutral. Pressed back. Now bring it to the side. Press back, knee in, back. Make sure you're breathing, not tensing up. This is not a speed movement. I thought I put my water back where it would be safe, but now I see it's very close to my movement. One more. So back, side, back, and in. This time, knees apart, big toes together, and shift back. Walk your hands out. And remember, you can put your head on your fist or two fists, especially if it's not comfortable to come all the way down with your head. It's good for your head to connect with something. And let's shift side to side, maybe with our hips, checking in with our low back. And gently come up. We're going to bring the knees back to the midline. Well, back to even with the hips. Walk it out to your kneeling plank. Draw the navel in. All right. So we're trying to come down as a unit. We're going to do some push-ups, 3 of them, nice and slow. Inhale, exhale down, push back up, breathe. Trying to take the chest and the belly at the same level. We'll take it back down and release the hands. So I'm going to reach my hands back, open up my heart. So I'm working through my low back, and I want to tighten my glutes and also press my toes into the ground. Breathe. Reaching hands to your toes. And release. Hands can come under forehead. Let your hips gently move back and forth. This next set, we're going to include the legs, and it's optional. You need to honor your body. So only do what's comfortable for you. All right, so hands come back, and let's try lifting the right leg. It's not how much we lift it, it's the contraction. So reaching the hands, opening the heart, right leg back. Breathe. Fingertips reaching, squeezing the shoulder blades together, maintaining the breath. Inhale, exhale, release. Second side, left leg and both arms. Reaching, breathing. Inhale, exhale. So we're going to go with the rhythm of our breath. Inhale, exhale. You can do both legs if you want. I'm doing one at a time. Inhale, exhale. So keep going with your own breath pattern. Again, you're welcome if you can control the movement and there's no pain, use both legs. Let's do one more each side, or 2 more if you're doing both legs. All right, so hands come back underneath. Move your hips again. Notice how that feels on your low back. We were just contracting the low back, and this allows a release. Stop the hip movement, bend your knees, and now windshield wiper. Don't discount these movements just because they're not hard. This releases tension in your body. All right, so legs extend, hands come underneath. We're coming up to the knees, so draw the navel in, support push with awareness, curl the toes under, and now we're going to lift up the knees. So we're pushing against the ground and release them again. Push against the ground, engage the core, lift the knees, maybe an inch or two. And one more time, push. And now lift the hips up, push with the hands. Just keep the knees soft and drop one heel down and then the other. So just stretching through the back of the leg, through the calves and the Achilles area. And if you're doing downward facing dog, you will also often get a stretch in your shoulders and in your upper back. So we want to push the heart towards the thighs. So your hands are way out in front of you. All right. So last thing in this position, we're coming into thread the needle. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to bring it on my back of my head like I'm saluting with the back of my head. And I'm going to open up as far as I can. And then my elbow comes down to my wrist. Open up and to the wrist. So we're twisting. Press with that left hand against the ground. This is the last time. Now I'm going to open up with the straight arm, and then I come under, palm up, and I go underneath. So I'm going to connect with the floor. If it's a long way down, you could put your block under your head. It's much better to let your shoulder and head connect with the ground than to just hover. I can be passive here by just laying here and enjoying the stretch, or I can make it active by pressing into the ground, into the rotation, and then I'm targeting some muscles deep in my shoulder blade. Breathe. Inhale. All right, and now we'll do the other side. So, hand comes up. I'm going to open and then come down and touch my wrist. Open and wrist. Open and wrist. And now I come up as far as I can go, feeling the twist. And now come under, palm up, reaching as far as I can go under, then connecting with the floor. That's important to connect with the floor. Again, I can be passive or active, pressing into the ground. I'm turning to my right, so my right hand can open up more, it can wrap behind my back for shoulder, or it can reach forward, your choice. Inhale, and let's bring it back up, and we'll shift on to our hips and gently lay back. Draw the knees in. Now bring the knees apart more towards your shoulders, and let's rotate the ankles. And now roll the knees in that hip joint. So I'm bringing my knees towards one another and then out and down. Let's reverse direction. Now extend the legs up, hands come up, and we'll do what's called dead bug. So I'm reaching as high up as I can go, but my head's still on the ground, dropping my left leg and my right arm, and then bringing them back up, and then the right leg and left arm. So bend your knees if you need to support your back more. Everybody should be pressing their low back into the ground as they drop their leg. So your head can rest on the ground, or you can lift it up. That's your choice. If you have neck issues, maybe you don't want to do this, but it's going to work your abdominals in the upper region more. Breathe. Remember not to hold your breath. 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. All right, knees come back in, supporting your back. Arms out in a T. And we're going to let the knees drop to one side. And almost get there.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Sorry. And then to the other side. Series in class with us. So gently side to side. So with this movement, we're working both on flexibility, opening more through the upper back and maybe the shoulders a bit, but also mobility of the back. It's one of my favorite movements. All right, whatever side you're on now, just hold it there. Relax. Once you're set with your legs, then allow your head to turn in the opposite direction if you wish. Deep, complete breath. Head back to center. Gently bring your knees back up and over to the other side. So if you had a block or a rolled up towel, if this is a long way over, you could slide the blanket between your knees, underneath your thigh, under your feet, and that might give you a little support in this position. So once you're all set, then you turn your head if you wish. Last minute. And turn your head back to center. That opposite arm comes up. And we'll finish our time together seated. Last breath together, arms come up. Exhale down to heart center. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you have a lovely day and stay warm.